Hey VDSers, this is how you're going to use the NanoPure machine. You want to make sure you have a pipette with pipette tips, your sample, some NanoPure water, and tris buffer to initialize the machine. So this is the desktop.
Okay, so first what y'all are going to do is click on the Nanodrop 2000, and then it's going to open up, and the first thing it's going to ask is what type, and we are going to be measuring protein, so we click the protein A280. And so it'll first ask you to initialize it. So before you do that, you have to add water to the machine. So first swipe it to make sure there's nothing in it. Take your pipette and your Nanodrop, and you put 2 microliters. And then you set it down. And then click OK. And then after this, you don't change any of the settings. We measure at milligrams per milliliter, and then y'all will convert it to nanograms. And then we do measure the whole entire thing at 280, but we have this 340 as a reference, so don't change that either. So next what we're going to do is we're going to measure our tris buffer, so whichever buffer you're using, and in this case it's our 1x tris buffer. We're going to use that to blanket. And so first you open it, and you have to make sure you wipe off the water, and then after that you take pipette and then 2 microliters of the buffer. And then you'll click blank. Okay, and then the next thing you do is we're going to take our first measurement of our first sample. And so we want them to start overlaying, because you'll usually do 2 measurements of each sample you do, just so you can like average it and see which one is higher. And so open it again, and we'll clean it off. And then 2 microliters of our sample. And you'll click measure on the top left. And you can save it usually to put your, you don't necessarily need to save it because y'all will screenshot it instead, but you can save it, for example, as like sample 1 and maybe like your EID, and save it. And so it'll come up and have a red line. And what's important is the A20 absorbency and then the A280 absorbency, and the 260/280. So I would recommend screenshotting like the whole thing over here so you get everything. And you'll do this multiple times. So make sure you've clicked overlay so that when you have the second sample, there'll be another red line, and you'll have another line of information here, and you'll screenshot it after you finish the total amount of samples you're measuring. So yeah, that's it.